Okay, we're getting there. The next thing we're going to do is the arch bridge landing gear. So you're going to need all your landing gear pieces, your braces, or your ribs they call them. You're going to need several of the 40 or 39 millimeter aluminum rods, and then the two remaining square mounting, I guess, plates. Okay? And, oh yeah, the carbon rods that are your actual landing skids. So go ahead and start putting the rods into two of the arch bridges, and then we'll put the ribs together, and then we'll install it to the roll axis assembly. Once you've got your aluminum rods on, go ahead and start putting the side ribs in, or the braces. And just continue all the way around. So after you get them both together, go ahead and slide the landing skids through there. And then the next step would be attaching it to the axis. Okay? For the next step, we're going to take the roll axis assembly and mount two of the aluminum plates, one on either side, one there and then one here, and then get it ready to take the arch bridge assembly. Okay, remember when you're putting these aluminum rods together that these holes are drilled or offset to one side. So when you put it on the roll axis assembly, you want that offset to be positioned down so that the this plate is flush mount with the top here. All right. Pretty nice. Next, we're going to attach the arch bridge, or your landing gear, to the top of the roll axis assembly, right in here, both sides, using 35 millimeter rods and some M2 by 8 screws. And that, folks, is the final assembly piece for the Alware 2-axis camera gimbal. The next thing you would do would be hook up your mounting plate to the bottom of your multicopter and go take pictures. And I'm going to do that part next. Okay, this is the multicopter mounting plate that will go onto the base of your multicopter. You just need to prepare it with some 39 millimeter aluminum rods and some M2 by 6 screws. You mount that in the holes indicated on the illustration in the manual for your multicopter. Different multicopters require the use of different holes. For mine, it's a Flame Wheel 550, so I'll be using these 2 holes here and then these 2 holes here. But yours will be different, so check it in the manual. I have my mounting plate set up for my Flame Wheel 550. This slotted, the oval slot here goes to the front and the square goes to the back. These 4 slots here line up with the holes here, at least for my particular assembly anyway, for the 550. So you just put that over there and put the screws in. And then the next part would be lining up the base plate for your model with this, and then installing these. We'll do that next. Alright, so I have my mounting plate mounted on the top of my gimbal using the holes for Flame Wheel 550 or DJI 550. And this is where it gets, it varies a little from copter to copter. Some of you will use these small little hex attachments with threads on both sides, and others, I think in my case, will use these slotted mounting plates to attach it to the bottom plate. And I'm going to have to experiment here a little bit to see which way works best for me. I have a spare base plate from another Multicopter. It's identical as far as the drilling the holes for as the flame wheel 550. So I'm going to experiment with that and sandwich it between two of these and put that over the mounting rods and see if that works. Okay, so I have my sample plate here, and you can see that it lines up just about like that on the two or the four mounting holes. And I'm going to take one bracket, put it underneath, line it up with the holes here. I'm going to take one more, put it over the top, line up the two outside holes with these two mounting rods here, and then that should effectively, with the sandwich, it should effectively clamp my base plate very solidly to the gimbal. So I'm going to need two hands to do this, so give me a second and we'll see how it works. Well, that wasn't nearly as difficult as I thought it would be. I've got my bottom plate sandwiched between two of these brackets, one on the top and one on the bottom. I did have to use longer 8mm cap screws here, otherwise you won't make it through all three pieces. It seems to work pretty well. It's nice and solid. So next up is to mount it on the real thing, and I'll show you that when I get done with it. Well, okay, here's my flame wheel. You can see the wires are everywhere. It's hard to see, but I'm lucky that the components that I have mounted in here aren't in the way of the bracket. But here's the bracket right here. I'm just now starting to mount the screws to it. I know you can't see that, and I can't pick it up now because I've got one screw in, but there it is right in there. Anyway, so it looks like I'm going to luck out and everything's going to fit just fine. Alright, here it is, attached to the flame wheel. You can see if you zoom in on the camera gimbal, it's taking its cues from the NASA and compensating for the angle of the multicopter. That's the roll axis, and then the tilt, the camera tilt. Having a hard time keeping it in focus, but you can see it. There you go. The only thing left for me to do now is to go up on the software assistant and then make sure everything is level and that the settings aren't too high or severe or too fast. Okay.